Ho Chi Minh City, or Saigon, is a city on the move. With over 9 million citizens and counting, the roads are clogged with hordes of scooters and motorcycles. The wheels of the local economy are spinning fast, drawing people from all over the country to seize the momentum. And there are many cultures that make up Vietnam's people, with over 50 distinct ethnic groups. There are many religions too, Buddhism being the biggest influence. Christianity is second, and in the cities there are signs of its influence, past and present.
The fastest growing church in Vietnam is far from its bustling cities. The tribal people of the North and South are embracing Christianity in large numbers and igniting an evangelistic movement. Little wonder then that most of the reports of persecution are coming from these areas.
These tribal women have traveled 2 days from their village in the mountains to tell us their stories. We have to hide their faces and names to protect them. Their husbands are prisoners, convicted for their convictions.
Vì to tiếng vì đòi đất đai như vậy nên chỉ có một vài là.
Her husband was not alone. On April 10th, 2004, a group of villagers protested the government's crackdown on their churches and illegal confiscation of property. Grace says he was sentenced for 9 years and has served 7 so far. Her visits to him are limited to once or twice a year. For her, it's a sentence as well.
Khó khăn cũng có ai làm việc nặng, chỉ đàn bà làm việc sơ sơ mà thôi, con cái đau bệnh tật rất nhiều, chỉ một mình.
The burden has also been heavy for Ruth. Her husband was sentenced to 12 years. She suffers from hepatitis and has little support.
Trong nhà thì khó khăn lắm, với lại chưa nói cái gì nhưng em này vô nhà nó biết rồi. Thậm chí chỗ nằm thì cũng nằm ở dưới đất luôn, giường cũng không có luôn, nhà rất khó khăn, khổ quá.
Deborah says they're discriminated against not only because their husbands are in prison, but because they are tribal people.
Dạ đúng, không có được giống như không khó nói, do nhiều phân biệt đối xử, nhất là người tin Chúa như mình, họ phân biệt lắm.
In spite of these challenges, one thing these women haven't lost is faith. Deborah says neither have their husbands.
Là trong tù thì họ nhốt riêng cái người chính trị riêng, mấy anh em là người tin Chúa hết.
These women also find comfort in meeting together and bringing their shared sorrow to God. They say they pray for strength to stand and be faithful. They also hope others will join them.
Mong quý ân nhân cầu nguyện cho gia đình tôi được bình an, được mạnh khỏe, được luôn luôn ở bên Chúa.
Cảm tạ Chúa đã dẫn dắt con cái Chúa tới đây và để biết chúng tôi là những người bị nạn trong hoàn cảnh này.
David, a tribal pastor, and his son John have also made the taxing trip to meet with us. Despite the risk, they say they aren't afraid to show their faces. David's face shows the visible marks of his persecution.
Già ra cứu trung bên, cán bộ cũng lãnh đàn, đàn vợ tôi đã ở đền là ép bỏ đạo, nếu mà không bỏ đạo Chúa, dù hoặc là phải giết bỏ, không cho sống ở trong đất nước Việt Nam, trong xã.
His crime? Giving up the traditional idol worship to follow Jesus. It would be the first of many beatings.
Mắt là họ đâm này rồi khi mình thấy mình đọc kinh thánh này mà mò sợ mình cầu nguyện với Chúa, ôi Chúa ơi, cả gia đình vợ con cầu nguyện với Chúa để mắt vú lại.
His son witnessed the miracle. He's also seen the many beatings and imprisonments his father has faced. It hasn't diminished his faith or determination.
Và sau khi họ bắt bớ rất là nhiều, họ đánh đập rất là nhiều, rồi càng bắt bớ là càng có người tiếp nhận tin Chúa tại đó, càng nhiều phép lạ, những người đau rồi ông bà cháu cầu nguyện rồi được bớt.
That means much more than just going to church, though even that is risky. David and John go out and preach, planting churches in the surrounding tribal villages.
Tại vì chúng tôi không nghi ngờ, chúng tôi tin chắc rằng Chúa có Chúa mà cứu sống.
Though they are up against their own cultural beliefs of idol and ancestor worship, they are also up against the government. That's because the government appoints the tribal elders and local police that keep a tight grip on the peoples of this area, who are among the poorest and lowest educated in the country. Still, they are seeing transformation. Christianity is thriving in these regions, and recently the chief that once persecuted them has become a Christian.
Cao nguyện tại hội thánh Xuân Tin, là xã Xuân Tin, là gia đình chị tôi là có 12 đứa con rồi mà chị đã từng bị bạc bớ đánh đập.
They say things are getting better. The persecution has lessened.
Nhờ là công việc của Chúa, mình cầu nguyện với Chúa và bây giờ là họ đã nhờ nhiều người can thiệp và từ đất nước Việt Nam.
Although much of that intervention is homegrown, there is help coming in from the outside. Voice of the Martyrs is a mission that raises awareness of Christians around the world who are killed, beaten, tortured, and threatened for their faith. Greg Musselman says there's a need for intervention on many fronts.
And it's really been the vision of Voice of the Martyrs from the very beginning, from Richard Wurmbrand on down, is to empower the church. So really empowering the church to be everything that God has called the church in Vietnam to do with their people. All we do is come on from the outside, say, hey, we love you, we're for you, here's the resources you need to be successful, and to say, you know, we're standing with you. You know, you may feel at times that you're forgotten from the outside world, but you're not. There are people in Canada, America, and around the world praying for the Church of Vietnam.
And how is the church doing in Vietnam? Tune in tomorrow to 100 Huntley Street as we go underground to a refuge for those persecuted for their faith.